So part of my role here at the Nicholas School is to serve as the director for Community-Based Environmental Management Certificate Program, and I teach a lot on that topic and community-based environmental management. So one of the courses I teach actually every other year is Community-Based Environmental Management in Mexico. And I take students that are both part of our Duke Environmental Leadership Program. So these are students who are currently environmental professionals and are studying mostly online. And also our on-campus MEM students down to Oaxaca. And one of the wonderful things about that is that they get to see an exemplary case of community-based environmental management. We spend about 2 days in the capital city, but 3 days of the week that we have for that field course with the communities that ICICO works with. The focus is really on letting the community members and ICICO, the folks who work for ICICO, really be the teachers and really let students know in a profound way how these management systems work and how their community or level organization works. What's remarkable about that is the students can actually see it. They can go to the carbon offsetting forests and they can see these beautiful trees that weren't there 5 years ago. They can hear the community members talking in great detail about how they manage these trees and the love that they have for them. The students that I've taken down to Oaxaca and those on the field course that I take every other year, we spend a lot of time with ICICO and the communities that they work with. The response is always incredibly strong, and I think that a lot of the ways in which students respond depend on where they're coming from and their particular background. And I can give two examples. One is of a student, and I won't mention her name, but who had never been outside the United States before. And her response to everything was absolute wonder and some fear. When we first got there, I saw fear in her eyes as we walked out the door into the streets of Mexico. This was something that was completely, literally foreign to her. By the time that we finished, and she had spent 3 days with these indigenous communities in Oaxaca, she was in love with the place. She had embraced the culture. She'd embraced the place. She was eating strange foods and trying her best to speak Spanish and trying as much as she could to communicate, whether it was through sign language or through broken Spanish, with the people around her. It was a remarkable opening of her experience in life to be able to have the opportunity to interact with that culture and those people. On the other hand, another student who was actually of Mexican heritage, she grew up in California, where by her own description, Mexican culture is not very valued, or at least she didn't have the experience of not being very valued. What she said was the most remarkable part of the experience of being with the indigenous communities in Oaxaca that work with ICICO was actually seeing the value and the pride that they hold for their traditional management practices, for their land, for their culture, for the deep connection that they have with that place. And she said that that was the most heartening thing that she had experienced in a long time, because it really gave her pride in her culture and her roots in a way that she didn't have before. And again, those are two very disparate experiences, but both were incredibly strong, powerful reactions.